Most people work their entire lives chasing paychecks, promotions, and pensions, yet very few ever achieve true financial freedom. Why? It's because we're taught how to earn money, but rarely how to control it, grow it, or let it work for us. This is where the cash flow quadrant comes in, a concept that completely shifts how we view income and wealth. Developed by Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the quadrant reveals why the rich think and act differently when it comes to money. And no, this isn't just some motivational fluff. It's a practical framework to understand where your income is coming from, what kind of financial mindset you have, and what you need to change if you want long-term wealth, freedom, and peace of mind. So in this video, you'll learn about all four quadrants of the cash flow model: employee, self-employed, business owner, and investor in simple terms. We'll break them down, look at real-life examples, and help you identify exactly where you are and where you want to go. What is the cash flow quadrant? Imagine a square divided into four parts. On the left side, we have employee, self-employed, and on the right side, business owner, investor. Each of these represents a way people earn their income. Here's the key idea. People on the left side work for money. People on the right side have money, or systems, working for them. Let's understand what this really means. Employees and self-employed people often trade time for money. They have to show up, or the income stops. On the other hand, business owners build systems that can operate even when they're not around. Investors let their money grow through assets like stocks, real estate, or businesses, without active effort every day. According to Kiyosaki, most people spend their lives stuck on the left side of the quadrant. They never shift to the right side, where real financial freedom lies. Let's break down each quadrant, starting with the most common one, the employee. The employee quadrant is where most people start and stay. Here, you work for someone else. You get a paycheck every 2 weeks. Your income is stable, predictable, and tied to your time and performance. Employees might include office workers, teachers, delivery drivers, nurses, or software developers. There are definitely some benefits here. Job security, or at least the illusion of it. Health benefits, clear roles and responsibilities, predictable hours. But here's the trap. No matter how hard you work, there's a ceiling on your income. Promotions are limited, raises are incremental, and your financial life is largely in someone else's hands. Your employer, your manager, or the company's performance. If you stop working due to illness, layoffs, or retirement, your income stops too. Also, employees often face the tax disadvantage. In many countries, employees are taxed at the highest rates with the fewest legal deductions. That means even if you earn more, you keep less. Now, some employees are happy with this trade-off, and that's okay. But if you want to build wealth or escape the time for money trap, you'll eventually need to shift out of this quadrant. Which brings us to the next step, becoming self-employed. Self-employed individuals believe in being their own boss. They don't like being told what to do and often value freedom, independence, and control over their work. Examples include freelancers, consultants, private tutors, independent doctors, lawyers or designers, Etsy shop owners, or solo entrepreneurs. At first glance, this seems like a step forward, and in many ways, it is. You have more say over your time, your pricing, your clients, and your work. There's no boss to answer to and no ceiling on your income. But here's the truth. Self-employed people often fall into the trap of working even harder than employees. They don't have jobs, they own their jobs. If they stop working, income stops. If they want to earn more, they have to work more hours. Vacations, health breaks, or personal time come at a cost. Also, because they often run everything solo, marketing, finances, delivery, they struggle to scale. Time becomes their biggest bottleneck. In terms of taxes, self-employed individuals usually get some deductions, but they also bear full responsibility for managing their own retirement, insurance, and healthcare, which can eat into profits fast. This quadrant works well for those building experience or testing an idea, but to build true leverage, we need to move from self-employed to business owner. This quadrant is where the game begins to change. Business owners don't work for the business works for them. This means they build systems, hire teams, and create processes that operate even when they're not personally involved in day-to-day activities. Think startup founders who hire employees to run the company, franchise owners who follow a scalable model, e-commerce brands that run on automated fulfillment, CEOs who focus on growth, not operations. In this quadrant, you gain leverage. Your time is no longer the bottleneck. Your system is your asset. And unlike the self-employed quadrant, business owners don't just create a service, they create value at scale. They're able to reach more people, generate more revenue, and grow faster because they're not the only one doing the work. There are still challenges here, of course. Building a good team, managing operations, delegating effectively, cash flow and capital management. But the rewards are massive. Scalable income, more time freedom, potential for equity growth, legal and tax advantages, business expenses, write-offs, asset protection. Most of the world's wealthiest individuals, from Elon Musk to Jeff Bezos, are in this quadrant. They don't just own jobs. They own scalable systems. Still, even business owners need to go one step further to reach the highest level of financial independence, a level where money works entirely on its own, without the need for active management or daily involvement. This brings us to the final quadrant, one that most aspire to, but few truly understand. This is the quadrant where true financial freedom lives. The investor doesn't work for money. Money works for them. In this quadrant, you generate income not by working, not by managing people, but by owning income-generating assets. Stocks and index funds, real estate properties, REITs or private equity, dividend-paying businesses, royalties, intellectual property, and more. Investors aren't limited by time, clients, or employees. Their wealth grows through capital appreciation, dividends, rental income, or asset value, often while they sleep. Take a moment to reflect on this. An investor doesn't have to wake up at 6 a.m. to beat traffic. They don't stress over how many hours they build this week. Instead, they think in terms of returns, risk, and compounding. It doesn't mean they don't work. Many investors study, plan, and analyze obsessively, but the key difference is this. Their effort is front-loaded. The money comes later, and passively. Now, it's important to note, not all investing is equal. Throwing money into stocks blindly isn't being an investor. That's gambling. Being an investor in this quadrant means strategic, long-term wealth building through informed decisions. This quadrant requires financial literacy, patience, and often a solid base built from the previous quadrants. But the rewards? Time freedom, scalable wealth, and true peace of mind. So we've walked through all 4 quadrants. But here's the truth. Most people never move beyond the left side, employee or self-employed. Not because they don't want to, but because the shift is hard. It requires changing your mindset, learning new skills, and often stepping into discomfort. Shifting from employee to business owner, for instance, means giving up the security of a paycheck and taking on risk. Going from self-employed to investor means letting go of control and trusting systems or markets. There are also social barriers. Friends and family might discourage you. Society rewards job titles more than ownership, and fear. Fear of failure, loss, or the unknown can keep you stuck where it's safe. But here's the thing. Every person who's built wealth had to face this transition. No one's born on the right side of the quadrant. It's a learned path. So how do you shift? Start small. Begin with financial education. Read books, watch content like this, understand money. Then start building an emergency fund, pay off bad debt, and invest even tiny amounts. If you're self-employed, think about how to delegate or automate. If you're an employee, explore side hustles or scalable skill sets. The shift won't happen overnight, but it's not about speed, it's about direction. Let's bring these quadrants to life with a few simple examples. Scenario 1, Alex the employee. Alex works as a data analyst at a large tech company. He earns $70,000 a year and gets paid every 2 weeks. He saves 10% of his salary, contributes to a retirement account, and takes 2 vacations a year. He's stable, but stuck in the time for money trap. If Alex gets laid off or wants to take 6 months off, his income stops. He lives in the E quadrant. Scenario 2. Priya, the self-employed consultant. Priya left her job to start a consulting business. She now earns more, around $120,000, but works 60 hours a week, manages her own clients, taxes, marketing, and admin. If she doesn't work, she doesn't get paid. She's technically her own boss, but still trades time for money, firmly in the S quadrant. Scenario 3, Marcus the business owner. Marcus runs an e-commerce brand that sells eco-friendly products. He's built a team, outsourced logistics, and automated marketing. He works 15 hours a week on strategy, while the business earns $250,000 in profit annually. He lives in the B quadrant. Scenario 4, Julia the investor. Julia has built a portfolio of dividend-paying stocks and 3 rental properties. She earns $6,000 per month in passive income. She travels the world, manages her investments online, and works only when she wants to. She operates entirely in the I quadrant. Each of these people made choices based on what they value. The quadrants aren't about who's better, they're about knowing what you want and what each lifestyle requires.
Not everyone needs to live in the I quadrant full time. Some people enjoy the structure of a job or the challenge of being a solopreneur, and that's okay. But if your goal is freedom of time, income, and location, you'll likely want to move toward the right side of the quadrant over time. The most financially successful people often have income coming from multiple quadrants. A business owner who also invests, a freelancer who builds a digital product that sells passively, an employee who starts building a real estate portfolio on the side. Here's the key takeaway. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow, but you should start building assets that pay you whether you work or not. Whether it's through investing, building a brand, or acquiring income-generating assets, the goal is to create leverage. You want your money, systems, or content to keep working even when you take a break. Let's quickly recap. The cash flow quadrant shows us 4 paths to earn income. Employee, you work for someone else. Self-employed, you work for yourself. Business owner, you own systems that work for you. Investor, your money works for you. Each quadrant has trade-offs. Each one requires a different mindset, strategy, and risk tolerance. But understanding them gives you clarity to decide which path aligns with your goals, lifestyle, and vision for freedom. If you're watching this video, you're already ahead. You're learning what most schools never teach. You're taking control of your financial education, and you're realizing that you don't have to stay stuck in one quadrant forever. You can shift, you can grow, you can build the life you actually want. And this channel, The Dollar Classroom, is here to help you do exactly that. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, make smart choices, build smart systems, and let your money do the hard work.